Great minds have purposes, others have wishes. Love is never lost. If not reciprocated, it will flow back and soften and purify the heart. A kind heart is a fountain of gladness, making everything in its vicinity freshen into smiles. The tie which links mother and child is of such pure and immaculate strength as to be never violated. Others may write from the head, but he writes from the heart, and the heart will always understand him. Ducks and geese are foolish things, and must be looked after, but girls can take care of themselves. There is nothing like the silence and loneliness of night to bring dark shadows over the brightest mind. Christmas is the season for kindling the fire of hospitality in the hall, the genial flame of charity in the heart. A tart temper never mellows with age, and a sharp tongue is the only edged tool that grows keener with constant use. I profess not to know how women's hearts are wooed and won. To me, they have always been matters of riddle and admiration. There is a sacredness in tears. They are the messengers of overwhelming grief, of deep contrition, and of unspeakable love. Sweet is the memory of distant friends. Like the mellow rays of the departing sun, it falls tenderly, yet sadly on the heart. Great minds have purpose, others have wishes. Little minds are tamed and subdued by misfortunes, but great minds rise above them. And if unhappy in her love, her heart is like some fortress that has been captured and sacked, and abandoned and left desolate. To look upon its grass-grown yard, where the sunbeams seem to sleep so quietly, one would think that there at least the dead might rest in peace. Balt Van Tassel was an easy, indulgent soul. He loved his daughter better even than his pipe, and like a reasonable man and an excellent father, let her have her way in everything. There is in every true woman's heart a spark of heavenly fire, which lies dormant in the broad daylight of prosperity, but which kindles up, and beams and blazes in the dark hour of adversity. There are certain half-dreaming moods of mind in which we naturally steal away from noise and glare, and seek some quiet haunt where we may indulge our reveries and build our air castles undisturbed. There is a certain relief in change, even though it be from bad to worse, as I have found in traveling in a stage coach, that it is often a comfort to shift one's position and be bruised in a new place. There is a sacredness in tears. They are not a mark of weakness but of power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. They are the messengers of overwhelming grief, of deep contrition, and of unspeakable love. Surely happiness is reflective, like the light of heaven, and every countenance, bright with smiles and glowing with innocent enjoyment, is a mirror transmitting to others the rays of a supreme and ever-shining benevolence. The scholar only knows how dear these silent, yet eloquent, companions of pure thoughts and innocent hours become in the season of adversity. When all that is worldly turns to dross around us, these only retain their steady value. And he would have passed a pleasant life of it, in despite of the devil and all his works, if his path had not been crossed by a being that causes more perplexity to mortal man than ghosts, goblins, and the whole race of witches put together, and that was a woman. Sometimes he spent hours together in the great libraries of Paris, those catacombs of departed authors, rummaging among their hoards of dusty and obsolete works in quest of food for his unhealthy appetite. He was, in a manner, a literary ghoul, feeding in the charnel house of decayed literature. Some minds corrode and grow inactive under the loss of personal liberty. Others grow morbid and irritable. But it is the nature of the poet to become tender and imaginative in the loneliness of confinement. He banquets upon the honey of his own thoughts, and like the captive bird, pours forth his soul in melody. A mother is the truest friend we have, when trials heavy and sudden fall upon us, when adversity takes the place of prosperity, when friends desert us, when trouble thickens around us, still will she cling to us, and endeavor by her kind precepts and counsels to dissipate the clouds of darkness, and cause peace to return to our hearts. All these, however, were mere terrors of the night, phantoms of the mind that walk in darkness. And though he had seen many specters in his time, and been more than once beset by Satan in divers shapes, in his lonely preambulations, yet daylight put an end to all these evils. And he would have passed a pleasant life of it, in despite of the devil and all his works, if his path had not been crossed by a being that causes more perplexity to mortal man than ghosts, goblins, and the whole race of witches put together, and that was a woman.